Hi, buddy. My name is John Fisher. I'm the owner of FindAListBroker.info.com. And the reason why I set up this website is I get so many phone calls where people call up and they say, well, yeah, I got ripped off by this guy, and I got ripped off by that guy. And we start the conversation like that, and it kind of pisses me off because I didn't rip them off. So what I've done is put together a game plan, put together a website that teaches you the do's and the don'ts of how not to get ripped off. One in particular happens to be credit card numbers. Do not give a list broker your credit card information. At salesleads.tv, what we have is a PayPal portal. And yes, sometimes PayPal can be a pain in the butt, but let me tell you something. I've never had any of my customers' informations used. I haven't had any of my customers' credit card smashed or illegal or unauthorized transactions. And don't you think that doesn't happen? I have a deposition. I flew somebody down. It was a boyfriend and girlfriend team. And I depositioned him. And his girlfriend, who's kind of like an infamous character out in California, had an actual credit card machine. And, you know, sometimes list brokers share the same clients. They'll buy from one list broker, buy from another one. She hit one of my clients for 10 iPads with his credit card number. And as recently as last week, I heard 3 of my clients call me up complaining about a certain company in Boynton Beach, Florida. And I don't want to get too specific, but if you go to salesleads.tv, Wall of Shame, you'll see the whole story. Just last week, and by the way, today is the 25th of February, 3 different guys called me up and told me that one of them had their credit card hit 6,000 times 3 times, $18,000. The other one got hit for 3,000, and the other one got hit for 7. But he did call. He did call up, find out that the person was on probation, and he kind of leaned on him, and he did get his money back. But you know, the fact that somebody gave him their credit card information, you know, it's so simple to grab that credit card information and hit it. Don't send wires. Later on, once you get to know the guy, send a wire. But if you use a credit card and the guy rips you off, you can at least charge him back or try to charge him back. You know, so that's just one of the tips that we give at FindAListBroker.info. We talk about the litigators list. Does your list broker even know what a litigators list is? Do you have a SAN number? Is he being a good buddy and scrubbing your leads without you having a SAN number? Not very smart, guys. If you get caught, it's going to cost you a lot of money. You're going to rob someone. Don't rob the government, for God's sakes. So these are some of the tips I give you in FindAList Broker. But the most important thing about FindAList Broker, it's a service that salesleads.tv is giving you. And what we're trying to say to you guys is, hey, when you do your homework and you do all these things we're talking about, you're going to find out that we are number one. We have an A+ rating. We're an accredited firm. We have no complaints in the last 26 years. I'm a one-man operation. We don't sell the Village bike. I mean, there's 400,000 accredited investors out there that have received a private placement memorandum in the last 2 years that I have identified. 300,000 of them are being sold over and over and over again. That's what we call them, the Village bike. Been ridden by everybody. And when I buy leads, I actually have the phone numbers of this Village bike, and I make sure that, hey, I'm not buying this list. It's nothing but Village bike. If it's got a small percentage, you can't help that. But, you know, buying leads for this company is not easy. But the stuff that we have, the PP Crema, the big dogs, I'll tell you, are the best leads in the country. And, you know, just the fact that we have no complaints, that we get a lot of orders, reorders. If you have closers working for you, you'll love me. If you don't have closers working for you, nothing I give you or any other list broker is going to give you that's going to produce everything. But let's talk about what kind of leads we have. Accredited investor leads is what we focus on. An accredited investor is a person that's accredited. What's accredited? Accredited is 200,000 income last 2 years, at least $1 million net worth, not including their home, 300,000 combined experience in managing their personal portfolio. So that's an accredited investor. And if you're doing a private placement memorandum, it's your responsibility to give these people the definition of an accredited investor. Okay, so we got that part done. What an accredited investor is. What's a lead? A lead is a name, address, and phone number. So the accredited investor lead is the name and address or phone number of a person that meets that criteria. Accredited investors lead. It's just many investors lead, which is kind of doesn't make sense because a number of leads is a list. So accredited investor lists means there's more than one lead. Okay, so when you're putting accredited investor leads or accredited investor lists or accredited investor lead, plural, singular, it's all the same. How do you reach an accredited investor? You call us up and you buy leads from us, and then you call them up and you do what you got to do. You survey them, you read them the accredited investor definition, make sure he's qualified, establish the relationship with them. If you're doing the B, 504, 505, 506, B, you have to establish a pre-existing relationship, 30-day cooling off period. If you're doing the C, you could send them the PPM right away, and you could close them right away. So the actual term that you would punch into Google, how to reach an accredited investor, is, first of all, how to reach salesleads.tv and buy leads from us, because that's how you reach them. You buy them from a firm, such as myself, that buys these, has relationships for 26 years, and that's what we do. Private placement leads. What's a private placement lead? A private placement lead is exactly what we're talking about. It's not really a true term, because you can't bring in people who are not accredited investors. So you've got to be careful. When you say I'm looking for private placement leads, just make sure you let them know that they have to be accredited. And you know what? That private placement lead keyword just opens you up for abuse, because if you don't bring up accredited, they're going to sell you that modeled information. You know what modeled information is? I'm going to tell you what modeled information is. If you're buying anything less than 50 cents for a lead, it's modeled information. Info USA, Lead Genie, Sales Genie. It's all the same stuff. It's a zip +4 average of your net worth, your income, your home value, and your age. An average. They are not looking for any kind of investments. I'm going to tell you, if I could use that kind of stuff to enhance my numbers, and the numbers are small, with the do not call at 238 million people on a do not call right now, the amount of leads out there is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And believe me, if I could take that stuff and sell it, I would sell it. Those people are not happy about getting phone calls. They don't even know what a private placement is. So again, you want to stick with people that have been surveyed by a broker dealer. He's got skin in the game. He wants to make that 10%. And you want people that are qualified correctly. You don't want surveyed leads from Costa Rica or from the Philippines or some $12 an hour guy who, what accredited investor gives their information to anybody? It doesn't make sense at all. If you're a broker dealer and you're selling an investment and it's sexy, I like it, real estate, or it could be, I've heard some pretty good ones. Matter of fact, I just had a customer doing a marijuana deal. And we actually have a list called PP Crema Kush, which happens to be a pretty hot list. So getting back to the accredited investor leads, that's what we do. Yeah, FindAList Brokers to help you not get ripped off and find the right guy, but we are the right guy. So don't go through all that craziness. You're home. Welcome home, Cotter. If you have any more information, give me a call. John Fisher, 561-981-8777. Thank you for your time, and God bless.